What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Now, before we get into today's video, if the audio is bad, I apologise in advance. The wind has been mental here over the last couple of days, but we had to get out here because we've got a new part to install to the Meg. The Forge Smart Spacer for the blow-off Recirc valve. Now, not really sure what to expect from this, but it's a cheap mod to try. And the intakes on these are quite quiet, even with the aftermarket piece that I do have on there. So, let's install it and see the befores and afters and see if it's worth keeping. Roll the intro. So before we get into today's video, make sure you like, share and subscribe as you always do, and I'll show you guys a close-up of the Forge Spacer. So this is the Forge piece that's going to be going on. It's basically going to be sandwiched between the two OEM parts. The idea behind this sort of mod is that obviously these holes here create the kind of blow-off valve effect, but without obviously going with the whole blow-off valves Recirc system. So obviously it allows you to keep all the OEM parts and everything as it should be. So literally there's nothing else to it really, it's just this. It's come with some extended bolts obviously, because now this is sandwiched, obviously things are going to be a bit bigger. And then these two O-rings that I've already seated myself. I didn't put anything on there, just seated themselves perfectly in the thing. So that's about it. So let's pop the bonnet open and start taking some parts apart. Right, so here is the standard unit. Obviously, like I said, this will be a sandwich part basically to the here. So just got to take off these three, looks like Allen key bolts in here, and obviously, like I say, they're tiny, so obviously there's extended ones in the box. Just unplug that clip first, these 3 bolts, and that should literally be it. And then that will obviously sandwich between, and that's it. So I'll set you up next to me and start undoing some stuff. There it is. Easy peasy. So there's the standard piece. Where's the space? So I'm assuming this has only one way to go. And then, like I say, that will sandwich in there. Oh, the O-rings come out a little bit. Just make sure these O-rings are seated when it goes back in. That will go on there. Like, by the look of it, it's only got one way it can go, that way. Like I say, sandwiched in there. And then back in there. Easy job. Like I say, it's perfectly machined, so you can see it all lines up perfectly around the outside of the standard fit. So let's put it back on. Don't forget your extended bolts. Plug that in so I don't forget now. 10-minute job. Easy. Just going to tighten these up and I'll be back with you. Right, so there it is. The sandwich plate is in. Like I say, 3 extended bolts. Make sure the clip's on and tight, and that's it. Literally simple as that. Simple mod. Let's see the befores and afters and stuff and decide whether I'm actually going to keep it. Right, road test. Let's see what it's actually like. Not really sure what to expect from these because I've never really used them. I used the Recirc on the Clio, only realising that was the same unit, so I could have used the Recirc. But we'll delve into that when we get a chance. But let's do some pulls and see how it sounds, because it might be barely noticeable. Well, I'm going to keep the windows open. You might not be able to hear me very well, but you should be able to hear what we've done a little bit better. Subtle. I was expecting it to be louder, not in a bad way. I'm kind of glad that it's not that loud. I can't really tell if I've got a little bit more induction noise. It's hard to tell at the minute because, like I say, it's been so windy here recently. Let's see if we can get a little third. Sounds pretty good. Are we getting more flutters than we were before? A little bit? I can't tell, it's really hard to tell because obviously you've got to take into consideration some of it will be placebo effect, like, oh, I put something new on, it sounds well different. But I'm pretty sure I'm getting a little bit more induction noise. And it's getting a bit more of a flutter. I think I like it. It's just a bit more pronounced, I think, because the car obviously dumped anyway because of the air filter, the aftermarket air filter that I'm running. But it was, the intakes were very a lot quieter on this engine compared to the Clio. Like the Clio one, I put the AirTech open filter on my Mark 4 Clio trophy, and it was so loud. Like the intake was so loud. I didn't mind the intake, but it was the blow off. It sounded just crap. So I put a Recirc valve on, a GFB divert valve, sorry, to stop some of that. But this seems to be enough, but not too much, which is really good. In induction, sounds right, you know. What's that? Obviously, being EDC, you're not going to hear it between gears. It's only going to be when you let off the gas. So obviously running something like this, like a spacer plate, allows you to obviously, like I say, get that dump experience. But obviously the whole point of a Recirc valve, diverter valve, is that it keeps the boost for the next gear or when you come back on the throttle. And this, I feel, has got that kind of thing in mind. Like obviously it doesn't do as much as a Recirc, I don't think, because a Recirc has a little metal diaphragm in it, so that allows some of the boost to come, some of the boost to be dumped, but most of it to stay. And I think this does the same thing, because obviously, like I said, I'm running the complete standard unit, and there's about 6 holes in it, so it's allowing some of the boost to leave, but it's keeping some. So drivability feels pretty much the same. Let's give it in race mode and see if we can. Yeah, drivability seems pretty much the same. I'm not noticing it be any laggier, or if for any reason. Quite a pleasant surprise, quite a pleasant noise. Woo, big bang. Obviously it needs to be addressed. This is not a performance mod. You're not claimed going to get, you know, better response or anything like that. You know, it's, like I say, it's designed to give you the atmospheric noise, but with obviously not the full dump valve expression, because obviously they can be quite loud, and they, especially on a car that's only running like a remap or something, you know, it's not running massive boost or anything, so it's not going to sound that good. It's going to sound more like a cat sneezing. So obviously it's a bit embarrassing if you're going to be coming up going everywhere, you know, if you're running, like, do you know what I mean, not running big power or anything like that. So to summarise, I think this kind of mod is something is aimed at for someone like me that's not really wanting too much blow off, essentially, not too much noise coming from the front, but just enough to be like, you know, to make it sound exciting, if that makes sense. Because like I say, this aftermarket filter I thought was going to make more noise, just seeing as how much noise it made on my clear. But yeah, I think it sounds alright. So I'm going to end the video there, guys. Make sure you like, share, subscribe and all that stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.